Were you up in arms about any of these? Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Doctor Who controversies. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at some of the biggest controversies plaguing the show's production and reception. Number 10. Mary Whitehouse. No one had a vendetta against the BBC like Mary Whitehouse, and back in the 70s, she made it her personal mission to try and get Doctor Who cancelled. As the founder and president of the National Viewers and Listeners Association, it was her business to criticise the nation's favourite shows. She was especially aggravated by the Dalek's origin story being an allegory for Nazism, and for what she perceived as extreme violence in one of the Deadly Assassin's cliffhangers. In this scene, the Doctor was dragged underwater and presumed dead for an entire week, and Whitehouse complained so ferociously, the scene was edited for repeats.
You're finished!
Number 9. The new Dalek paradigm. Redesign the Daleks at your own risk. They're one of the most iconic villains in all of science fiction, thanks to their bizarre appearance. But ridiculous as they might be with their eye stalks and toilet plungers, their triumphant return in Victory of the Daleks was seen as a step too far by many.
Behold, the restoration of the Daleks!
They were bigger and came in a wide variety of colours, which of course added to the merchandise options, but were so poorly received that the Daleks didn't appear as main villains until 2 series later. When they did, they were back to their familiar bronze colour scheme, thankfully. Number 8. The Doctor and Graham's cancer conversation. Being an ancient alien, the Doctor's not always the best at navigating social situations, but many fans felt that this scene really missed the mark.
I worry about getting sick again, about the cancer coming back, and I didn't know who to say it to, so I thought I'd say it to you.
When the crew had to face down against their greatest fears, Graham confessed to the Doctor that he was frightened of his cancer returning, and has a hard time talking about it.
I thought I should talk about it. Because those nightmares, well, they made me realise that the fear is still there.
In response, the Doctor didn't offer a piece of sage advice as you'd expect, but instead wandered off to do something else, claiming that she was too awkward to think of something meaningful to say.
I should say a reassuring thing now, shouldn't I?
Yeah, probably.
I'm still quite socially awkward.
Though Graham seemed alright with this, plenty of audience members were not.
I'm glad we had this chat, eh?
Number 7. Jo Martin is the Doctor. With roughly 60 years of continuity out there, including not only the show, but numerous novelizations, audio adventures, comics, and other spin-offs, there are bound to be contradictions here and there. But Jo Martin's introduction as the second female Doctor, and the first non-white Doctor, definitely threw fans for a loop.
Let me take it from the top. Hello, I'm the Doctor.
While her presence has since been explained by the series arc, many didn't like that the twist seemed to throw much of the canon under the bus, specifically how many incarnations of the Doctor there have been.
I told you, love, I'm the Doctor.
You can't be,
Yeah, why's that?
because I'm the Doctor.
It really makes you wonder why we bother numbering them at all if we're all inevitably wrong.
Who wants some?
The Doctor never uses weapons.
I know. Shut up.
Number 6. Lesbian Lizard Kiss. The Paternoster gang have proven consistently popular with Whovians, even getting their own audio adventure series, but not everybody took to them. Specifically, certain viewers took issue with Madame Vastra and Jenny Flint being a married same-sex couple.
Share with me.
After they kissed on screen for the first time in the Series 8 premiere, Ofcom received half a dozen complaints claiming it was inappropriate and gratuitous. Ofcom, of course, didn't uphold these complaints, but it's not the first time the show's been accused of promoting the gay agenda. The omnisexual Captain Jack was once received similarly.
Wish I'd never met you, Doctor. I was much better off as a coward.
Number 5. The Afterlife in Dark Water. The Series 8 finale was on the receiving end of more than 120 complaints from Ofcom due to its portrayal of the afterlife, in which it was suggested that the dead remained conscious and aware of pain. So much so that they begged not to be cremated.
Don't cremate me. Don't cremate me.
There is one
Don't cremate
simple,
me.
horrible possibility that has never occurred to anyone throughout human history.
Doctor Who might be famous for frightening kids, but many felt that this was a step too far, especially when young children might be experiencing death and cremation in the real world for the first time.
Fakery. All of it. It's a con, it's a racket.
Despite its reputation, it's still a family show, and consideration has to be taken not to traumatize its biggest audience.
This isn't possible. The dead don't come back.
Number 4. Eccleston's behind-the-scenes issues. To this day, even the most die-hard fans aren't sure exactly why Christopher Eccleston left the role after just one series.
Rob.
Series 1 may have had a few teething problems, like having too many fart jokes, but few can deny that the Ninth Doctor was a big factor in the revival's success. The most he's ever said is that he didn't like the decisions being made by higher-ups at the BBC or the culture of the production, and he even famously refused to come back even for the 50th anniversary special.
See you later. Oh, don't you disappear.
Though he says he doesn't regret taking on the role, he's also made it clear that he doesn't regret stepping down after just 13 episodes either. Number 3. He's a Chinese. There are plenty of things that were acceptable in the 70s that wouldn't get anywhere near a TV screen today, and this unfortunate casting decision was one of them.
It's all right, Mr. Jago. Please, come with me.
The Fourth Doctor's only jaunt back in time was marred with issues, ranging from shoddy special effects to blatant racism.
Make him talk.
He's a Chinese, if you hadn't noticed. We get a lot of those in here.
The main villain is a white man wearing makeup to appear Chinese, and the wider cast of Chinese characters, who were all small-time gang members, had only one Asian actor and even more makeup. Even at the time, the serial was so controversial it wasn't aired in certain parts of the world, despite getting the green light in the UK.
Will you try to attract my attention?
Number 2. Colin Baker replaced. The Sixth Doctor's arrival on screens was controversial enough on its own after he spent the first few minutes trying to strangle Perry, but this was an issue that would continue for the duration of his run. 6 was so widely disliked, primarily due to the writing rather than anything Colin Baker had done, that even BBC controller Michael Grade had an issue. He allegedly demanded that Baker be sacked from the role.
You know, I think I was rash in turning down that offer of the presidency.
Carrot juice.
Baker's exit was so bitter he refused to return to shoot the regeneration scene, meaning this pivotal moment relied on Sylvester McCoy wearing an unconvincing wig as his tenure began. Number 1. Female Doctor. Any new Doctor is bound to have a few teething problems, but none have been as intense or prolonged as the adjustment to Jodie Whittaker, the show's first female Doctor.
Oh, brilliant.
While 13 certainly has her great moments, it's also easy to see why she gets a lot more scrutiny than her male counterparts. There's no shortage of criticism levied at Chibnall and Whittaker, just like any era of Who. But she also gets picked up for everything from too much name-dropping to over-relying on the sonic screwdriver.
If I can access the data it's gathered.
But despite the naysayers, it's clear she's in it for the long haul, having already signed on for Series 13.
What?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.